So, welcome back to Essen 2017. I'm here with legendary designer Wolfgang Kramer, who, as you know, has done many, many, many games over the years, some Spiel to Jar games. Welcome to the show.
Yes, hello, thank you.
And so, years ago, obviously you did Tikal, Torres with Michael. You did a whole series, and we're kind of the first people who did action points for games.
Yes.
So how do you feel about the whole process of making action points?
Yes, we have no dice in the game, yes, and we need something what the players can do all what they wanted. And now we need something which was usual and it was common, and so I think the action points was the best thing for it.
Yeah, it was very genius. I mean, you did a whole series, Mexica, Java, and each game kind of progressed, and you did each one just a little bit better than the next.
I'm not sure, but yeah, Tikal has 10 action points, and we noticed that it is too much, and therefore when we do Torres, there we have only 5 action points.
Because it sped up the game and made it a little bit shorter of a time frame to play then?
We have Tikal, Java, and Mexica. That's a trilogy. Yes, and there are many things which belong together. One is the size of the box. One is the cover. There is also a mask on it. So it's a mask trilogy. Yes. And we wanted to have the theme. The theme is a famous antique culture. Yes. And we have in each another moving mechanism and a new mechanism for moving, and how you can go in the game with playing figures. This is by all 3 games. It's another solution to come in the game, and so on. We have many new mechanisms in these games.
Yes, I mean, you used other ones in more recent games like Palaces of Carrara. You used the wheel, which changed the values when you bought the bricks.
Yes, that's right. The price change. Yes, and I think Carrara was not recognized that it had a very deep depth. So maybe we publish the game once more, and we will change it. Yeah, change it a little bit because we want to make a game you can grow up. So we need more time, more playing time, and we will change the game in this matter that we play maybe about 1 hour and 30 minutes. Now you have more time to develop your strategy.
Yes, and also, you did something similar where you move around in Porta Nigra, where you're moving around into the different areas.
Yes,
as well.
That's right. That's right. Yes.
So you kind of expanded on Carrara in a different way.
Yes, that's right. That's
so
right.
Tell us about how you came up with the ideas for Porta Nigra.
Not Java, Entschuldigung, Porta Nigra. Yes, Porta Nigra has a long development history. We changed the theme and the mechanism many times. And at the end, what we found, which was published, would be the best, or was the best.
Yes. Now,
it is also 3-dimension. We have many games with 3-dimension. Torres 3-dimension. In Tikal, the temples, yes. And maybe Pueblo, yes, all 3-dimension. I like a game which looks very interesting. And I think three-dimension games look more interesting than a flat game.
Yeah, I agree. Especially in Pueblo, it's not just 3D, but you're looking at the different sides of the board, looking this way
Yes.
as you go.
Yes, sure. Yes.
And what was your thoughts when you made Pueblo back then?
Oh, yes. Pueblo, we want to make a building. And the first title was Kaspar. And the game played in Arabian countries. And then happened 9/11. And nobody wants this theme. So we have to change it and go to America, to the Pueblo people.
I never knew that. That's very interesting story.
Yes, it is. Yes.
So obviously you've done a lot of games with Michael. You have a new one here that you're showing, Reworld.
Yes, the newest one of us. And we will also make in future together games. But Michael will also do alone, and I'll do also alone. When I make alone games, I prefer to do games for people who are not gamers. I want to make the community of people who play bigger. And then I have to do easy games. That I have a new group of people which play the first time maybe, and they like it, and so they grew up in the future with games. But they always start first with easy games.
Yes. Well, I know, obviously, with Michael, you've had 2 Spiel des Jahres winners. Which game solo do you feel the most proud of?
Most proud of, I think Grande.
Yes.
Yes, I think Grande is the best game with many new mechanisms, and it is also now very in. And the most sold game of my games is 6 nimmt, Take 6. We have sold more than 3 million copies of that little game. It is in more than 30 countries and more than 25 languages.
Yeah. I mean, it shows the range where you could do a simple card game where you're laying down and then you get stuck with the last one, and then you do El Grande, just a big area control card game, and I mean a big area control game, and to do all these different types of games.
Yes.
How do you go back and forth from a big game to make a small game?
The first step of 6 nimmt was in the customs. When you go over the frontier, yes, we were the people of the customs look in our board and in our suitcase and so on, and found something which we have to pay for it to take from Austria to Germany. And I make a game. The name was Hot Goods, heiße Ware. Yes, what means I don't want it to bring these goods over the frontier. Therefore, nobody wants these goods. And this was bad. And so each people has had a luggage, a suitcase with some clothing and so on, and also with the bad goods, the hot goods. And if I develop this game more and more, it would be 6 nimmt of that. And had nothing to do with hot goods and nothing to do with the frontier.
So, going back to El Grande, since that's, I mean, that was now almost, I guess, 20, 30 years ago. It was in 1996, 1995, El Grande, right?
Yes, that's right.
So that's like...
In the autumn of 1995, and it got the prize game of the year, 1996.
Yes, and that was one of the first, I mean, it's one of my favorite games of all time, and it's one of the first great area control games, but you have the cards as well to do your actions for that. And
yes.
Tell me a little about the process, how you came up with El Grande.
Yes, it is also a very interesting process. My co-author is Richard Ulrich, and we thought about a new game, and he has the idea of the Greece antique. There was a big horse. Do you know it, this horse?
Trojan horse? The Trojan horse?
Yes, the Trojanische Pferd in Germany. And you put inside people, yes, and the horse come inside the Turkey city, and so they conquered this city, Troja. This was our first idea. And we developed it, and I come with a prototype of this game to the Nürnberger Game Fair. And I would show this. And I saw a game from Alex Randolph called Das Trojanische Pferd, the Trojan horse. So it showed the game to nobody, because there was a Trojan horse on the market. And then I thought what we can do, and we changed, and I found Spain was very interesting, because they have 5 groups of people. The Basque, the Catalans, Castilians, and also the Moran Arabian people, which have conquered a part of Spain. And the horse would be the tower. Yes, and the people was caballeros. And this game was better than the old one. And we called it El Grande.
No, I love, especially the part every 3 rounds where you take your pieces out of the Castillo and drop them into different areas. And I never would have thought that it started with a Trojan horse.
Yes, sure. No, only few people know it.
Well, now everyone watching knows it as well.
Okay, fine.
So what games do you have planned for the future? Are you working on some new games?
In the future, Six Nimmt, Take 6, has Jubilee in 2019. And there will come Six Nimmt board game. And I think it would be very good. On one side of the board, an more easy game, and on the back side, a game for gamers.
No, that sounds very exciting. I mean, you've done so many amazing things over the years, and we're just happy to be able to speak with you here.
Yes. And next year there will also come out a new game. The title is Okavango. Okavango, that's a river, a big river in Africa, and he didn't ends in another river or ends in the ocean or in the sea. It ends in the desert. And with this idea, we do a new game with the title Okavango. And this will be published next year.
It sounds like you still are doing a ton of games and a ton of work.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yes, well, it's a pleasure speaking with you today, and thank you.
Thank you also. And I greet all my friends and all people who like games in America.
Yes, so there we are, the legendary Wolfgang Kramer, here from Essen 2017, and you've been watching another Dice Tower interview. We'll be back soon.